Sell these 5 things before retiring. A few weeks ago, I published a video discussing 5 essential items people should consider purchasing before they embark on their retirement journey. The response from viewers was overwhelmingly positive, with many kind and encouraging remarks. However, amidst the praise, one particular email stood out. The sender's message, written entirely in capital letters, boldly stated, "Stop buying. If you were wondering, start selling." Initially, I assumed this individual was referencing the stock market, perhaps offering financial advice on portfolio management. But upon further reflection, it became clear they were directly addressing my video about pre-retirement purchases. And you know what? Despite the bluntness of their delivery, they made an undeniably valid and insightful point. As we approach the significant milestone of retirement, our focus often gravitates towards accumulation. What new things we can acquire, what investments we can make, what experiences we can plan. Yet, the wisdom in that email highlighted a crucial, often overlooked aspect of preparing for this next chapter. It's not solely about what you bring into your life, but equally, if not more importantly, about what you choose to release and let go of. So, today, I want to pivot our discussion and explore 5 specific things you absolutely should consider selling or divesting yourself of before you step into the freedom of retirement. Before we dive into that list, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kevin Lum, and I am a certified financial planner. My personal mission and the driving force behind this channel is to empower 1 million individuals to achieve a worry-free retirement. I believe that true financial peace is attainable, and it often begins with thoughtful planning and strategic decision-making. To truly frame the essence of what we are discussing today, I want to share a story from my childhood that has stayed with me for decades. My father was a pastor, and occasionally I would accompany him on visits to parishioners. There was one elderly woman we frequently visited whose home left a lasting impression on me. To be perfectly honest, I often dreaded those visits, not because of the woman herself, but because her house was quite literally packed from floor to ceiling with possessions. Every item she had ever acquired seemed to find a permanent place within those walls. I distinctly remember towering stacks of old newspapers and magazines piled high and dating back many years, creating precarious columns throughout her rooms. I often wondered, even as a young boy, what her ultimate plan for all of these things could possibly be. Eventually, as life progressed, she needed to transition into a care home. My father and I went to visit her there, and the contrast to her previous dwelling was stark. Her room in the care home was impeccably spotless, remarkably sparse, almost minimalist. On that particular day, feeling a burst of boldness that somewhat embarrassed my father, I posed a direct question to her. "Do you ever miss all of your stuff?" She paused for a moment, reflecting, and then offered a response that resonated deeply with me for the rest of my life. She said, "Some days, yes, a little, but most days, I just feel free." That sentiment, "I just feel free," became a powerful anchor for me. Throughout our lives, we are conditioned to accumulate. We gather possessions, mementos, and things we believe we need or might need someday. And while most of us aren't living amidst towers of newspapers, it's common to find ourselves surrounded by far more than we genuinely require or even use. Often, these items that we cling to or simply can't bring ourselves to part with begin to exert a subtle but persistent weight on us, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. That's precisely why retirement can be such an extraordinary gift. It's one of those rare junctures in life that offers a genuine chance to hit the reset button. It's an invitation to step back, take a deep breath, and profoundly ask yourself, what do I truly want to keep? What do I genuinely wish to carry with me into this exciting next stage of life? So, while there certainly are valuable things worth acquiring before you retire, today's conversation is dedicated to the equally vital act of letting go. We'll explore 5 specific areas where selling or consciously releasing assets can pave the way for a lighter, more financially secure, and ultimately freer retirement. And just as a heads up, I suspect the third item on my list might stir up a bit of discussion or perhaps even ruffle some feathers, so I'll be particularly interested to hear your thoughts on that one in the comments. Let's begin with a consideration that often feels quite obvious once it's brought to light: your oversized family home. For many, the family home represents years of memories, a place where children grew up and where countless celebrations unfolded. However, as you approach retirement, that 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house may no longer align with your current lifestyle or future needs. The children have grown and moved out, and that once bustling guest room hasn't seen an overnight visitor since perhaps 2019. The benefits of downsizing are numerous and profound. It can dramatically reduce your ongoing expenses, from lower maintenance costs and significantly decreased property taxes to more manageable utility bills. Beyond the financial advantages, a smaller home often translates into a whole lot more freedom, less time spent on chores and upkeep, more time for pursuits you truly enjoy. But the financial upside doesn't stop there. By downsizing, you could unlock a substantial portion of your home equity, which for many retirees represents one of their most significant assets. Tapping into that equity can provide a vital cash flow infusion, funding your long-anticipated travel plans, allowing for further investment to generate future income, or even contributing to a legacy you wish to leave for future generations. The ripple effect of lowering your cost of living is quite remarkable, because you're no longer dedicating as much time and money to maintaining a large property. You might find you don't need to withdraw as much from your IRA, potentially helping you stay in a lower tax bracket. Now, it's important to acknowledge that this advice isn't universally applicable. Many people deeply cherish their home. Perhaps you, the viewer, fall into this category. You love your house, envisioning yourself aging in place, perhaps even wanting to be carried out feet first. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that sentiment. However, I've spoken with numerous clients and individuals who initially felt that their home was a dream come true, only to find that as they aged, it began to feel like a significant burden. The upkeep, the constant stream of repairs, the sheer effort required to maintain a large property can become overwhelming. As a homeowner myself, one of the biggest surprises has been the sheer number of things that can and do break in any given year. Sometimes, even in my pre-retirement life, keeping my house in order feels like a part-time job. So, as you contemplate what you might release before retirement, seriously consider if downsizing your home is the right move for you. Your unnecessary second or third vehicle. Next on our list is perhaps that second, or in some cases, even a third car that you've held on to. If your commuting days are behind you, do you genuinely need more than one vehicle? Selling an extra car can lead to a cascade of savings, reduced insurance premiums, lower registration fees, and significantly decreased maintenance costs. Beyond that, you're liberating capital that's currently tied up in a depreciating asset just sitting in your driveway. In retirement, convenience certainly matters, and I understand that. For a two-person household, having two cars can undoubtedly simplify daily logistics. However, so does a healthy cash flow. For what it's worth, my wife and I have successfully navigated living in Los Angeles with just one car for the past 5 years, primarily driven by a desire to reduce our expenses. While we might eventually reach a point where we need a second car, especially as our daughter gets older, our experience demonstrates that it's entirely doable. It has required some negotiation and planning, and it's certainly not for everyone. But as you envision this next phase of life and work to make your budget stretch further, downsizing your home and potentially transitioning to a single-car household can be incredibly effective strategies for reducing your overall expenditures. This becomes even more pertinent as the cost of insurance continues its upward trend. By having just one vehicle, you free up more money to allocate towards experiences and things you genuinely value during your retirement years. So first, consider downsizing your home. Second, explore the possibility of selling an extra car. Now for the third item, we're taking a bit of a departure from physical assets, but it's equally, if not more, crucial. Overly complex or high-fee investments. This point isn't about a tangible item like a house or a car, but it concerns something just as, if not more, vital to your retirement security, your financial portfolio. As you prepare for retirement, it's an opportune time to scrutinize and potentially divest from investments that are overly complex, carry excessively high fees, or simply don't align with a straightforward retirement strategy. I'm talking about products like that old variable annuity with its convoluted layers of fees and surrender charges, or the whole life insurance policy your cousin sold you 25 years ago that you're still diligently paying into. It could also be that mutual fund consistently charging over 1% annually in management fees, or that private equity fund that sends you bewildering K-1 tax forms every March. These types of instruments often come with a double whammy. Not only do they frequently impose higher fees that erode your returns over time, but they also add significant complexity to your financial life. Tracking them, understanding their performance, and dealing with their unique tax implications can become a significant burden. I recall a client who had a successful career on Wall Street with access to every sophisticated investment option imaginable. Yet, by the time he came to me for retirement planning, he had systematically sold everything and consolidated his assets into simple, low-cost index funds. He explained that the fees and the sheer complexity simply weren't worth the perceived benefit. And here's the truth about the financial world. Often, the more convoluted a financial product appears, the better it is for the person selling it, not necessarily for the person buying it. In retirement, simplicity and cost efficiency are almost always the winning strategies. This isn't just about decluttering your physical garage. It's about simplifying and decluttering your entire financial future. While we're on this topic, I frequently encounter individuals who have their money scattered across 10 to 15 different accounts held at multiple financial institutions. I strongly encourage you to begin the process of consolidation. Gather all those scattered IRAs and roll them into one consolidated IRA. Collect all your various accounts from different companies and centralize them with one or two trusted institutions. The more you can streamline your finances as you head into retirement, the easier and less stressful your life will be. Before moving on, a quick interruption to say if you're finding this content valuable, please do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps with the algorithm, and I admit it's a nice boost for my ego. I truly appreciate every one of you who likes and subscribes. It's incredibly validating to know that people find this content helpful and engaging, and it's great for getting these insights to more people. Your unused recreational toys. Number 4 on our list is to sell or get rid of those unused recreational toys that have accumulated over the years. I'm talking about the RV that's only been out of storage twice in the last 5 years, the boat that sees more dry dock time than water, the ATVs gathering dust in the garage, the motorcycle you rarely ride, that timeshare you never use, or the jet ski that's been sitting neglected since 2016. These items, while once perhaps exciting acquisitions, have a tendency to lose value rapidly over time. More critically, they often come with a host of sneaky ongoing costs: storage fees, insurance premiums, maintenance, repairs, and depreciation. Selling these toys can provide a welcome financial boost right before retirement, injecting cash that can help bolster your retirement fund, pay off lingering debts, or create a comfortable buffer. But even beyond the monetary gain, there's a profound sense of freedom that comes with letting go of these unused possessions. This video isn't specifically about decluttering your entire house. I actually did a comprehensive video on that topic a while back. However, if I were to add a sub-point here, it would certainly be about the general clutter within your home. Just like the older woman whose house I used to visit, these things begin to take up not only literal physical space, but also significant mental space. They represent obligations, past aspirations, or simply things you haven't dealt with. While decluttering your entire home, particularly items with sentimental value, can be an emotional process, and I covered that extensively in my other video. The consistent feedback I've received from countless individuals is that once they take that courageous step, they rarely ever regret the feeling of liberation that follows. It's about shedding the weight of possessions to make room for a lighter, more focused retirement. Your side business or rental property. Finally, it might be time to sell that side business you've been nurturing or that rental property you've been managing. These ventures, while potentially excellent income streams during your working years, can sometimes transform into time-consuming, stressful, and illiquid stress machines in retirement. I've heard that phrase before, and it perfectly encapsulates the burden some feel. It's worth asking yourself, does this still bring me joy and fulfillment, or has it become just more paperwork, more responsibility, and more stress? Sometimes strategically selling an asset, particularly when the market is strong, can brilliantly convert complexity into simplicity. I had one client who sold their duplex and leveraged the proceeds to dramatically simplify their life. They traded the constant demands of tenants and those dreaded 2 a.m. plumbing calls for a profound sense of freedom, peace of mind, and the financial resources to comfortably support their retirement lifestyle. There is absolutely nothing inherently wrong with running a side business, nor is there anything amiss with supporting your retirement through real estate investments. Many successful retirees do just that. However, I often observe a couple of common pitfalls. Firstly, people can become over-concentrated in a single asset class. Their entire retirement plan might hinge on real estate values continually rising and units remaining fully occupied, which introduces significant risk. Secondly, these ventures undeniably add layers of complexity to one's life. So, you need to honestly evaluate, is the added complexity and concentrated risk truly worth it for you in retirement? It might be, and that's perfectly fine. But it might also be the opportune moment to let it go. And as I mentioned, this isn't a blanket recommendation for everyone, but it's certainly a consideration worth exploring. These are just 5 key areas you might want to consider as you approach retirement. The underlying philosophy here isn't about depriving yourself or getting rid of everything that holds meaning for you. Rather, it's about making deliberate choices to create more space, both physical and mental, for what truly matters most in your life. As I said earlier, when done thoughtfully, retirement is an incredible opportunity to hit the reset button. It's a chance to ask those fundamental questions. What do I truly want to do with the remainder of my life? What are my core values now? It's a powerful period to reflect on whether the large house you own, the multiple cars you maintain, the accumulated clutter, and the unused recreational toys are things you genuinely want to carry with you into this brand new stage of life. Or do you want to seize this moment as a chance to reset, to reevaluate, and to consciously redirect your energy and resources towards what you actually care about and what will bring you the most joy and peace? I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I have 2 quick questions for you. What would be the hardest thing for you personally to sell or let go of before retirement? And conversely, what do you think would be the most freeing thing for you to sell? If you've already begun the process of selling, decluttering, or downsizing in preparation for retirement, please share your experience. Was it a positive step? Were there unexpected challenges? Your insights are incredibly valuable. I always enjoy reading the comments and try to get through as many as possible, especially early on after a video is released. I know that countless other viewers learn a great deal from your shared experiences, so taking the time to leave a comment is not only helpful to me, but immensely beneficial to this entire community. Finally, I've put together a convenient playlist that includes the 2 videos I mentioned in this episode. The one on 5 things you should buy as you prepare for retirement, and another video I created about a year ago which offers practical steps and strategies for decluttering your home, particularly when dealing with sentimental items. You'll find that playlist linked so you can easily access those resources as well.